I'm always delighted to be with Saul News. This has been such a leader in the conservative movement and the Republican Party.
Welcome to the Saul's Newsstand News Rewind for September 12th, 2025. The Hill reports, NATO's Article 4 invoked over Russian drones in Poland. Poland invoked Article 4 of the North Atlantic Treaty on Wednesday after fighter jets shot down multiple Russian drones that illegally entered Polish airspace. Russia, which has been at war with Ukraine along Poland's southeastern border, said it did not mean to send drones into the airspace, but the move has prompted outcry from NATO allies. Article 5 is considered the central commitment in the 1949 Pact that an attack on one member will be treated as an attack against all. Invoking Article 4 is seen as the first step toward possibly invoking Article 5. The president has been trying to broker an end to Russia's war with Ukraine for several months, and he met with Putin in Alaska last month. U.S. Ambassador to NATO Matthew Whitaker affirmed support from the United States for NATO partners. Politico reports, Buttigieg, Newsom, and Vance top way too early 2028 New Hampshire poll. Vice President J.D. Vance dominates a hypothetical 2028 GOP presidential primary field in New Hampshire, while California Governor Gavin Newsom and former Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg are tied atop the Democratic heap, according to a year's early poll of the early primary state. Vance leads the list of potential GOP candidates with 56% support. No other Republican cracked double digits. The next closest would-be contender, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, had just 8% support. Buttigieg, who finished second in the state's 2020 presidential primary, is tied with Newsom at 23%. Nearly all of the top Democrats have visited the state over the past year to headline party fundraisers or campaign for the party's candidates, trips typical of presidential aspirants to what has historically been the first-in-the-nation primary state. And finally, the Daily Caller reports, dark moment for America. Trump addresses nation after Kirk assassination. President Donald Trump delivered a somber address Wednesday night following the assassination of Turning Point founder Charlie Kirk. Kirk, 31, died after being shot during a campus event at Utah Valley University. Trump opened his national address with a message of grief and fury, mourning the assassination of Kirk and praising him as a fearless patriot who championed free speech and American ideals. The president offered prayers for Kirk's family, urging the nation to pray for them during what he called a terrible hour of heartache and pain. President Trump vowed swift justice for those behind Kirk's assassination and other acts of political violence. And that concludes your Saul's Newsstand News Rewind for September 12th, 2025. For more political news faster, visit saulsnews.com.